And well, speaking of potential, now I'm going to switch gears to the ever controversial Cyberpunk 2077. For my review, I'm going to be grading this based off my experience and my experience alone, as I have talked in length many times about the ultimate failures and disappointing decisions made by CD Projekt Red's leadership in the release of this game.
Sorry.
At the end of the day, what I played on PC was enjoyable, and I found myself, and still find myself, wanting to go back into that world. As someone who loves the cyberpunk motif, this was an experience I've been waiting for a while. A Bethesda-style neo-future was exactly what I was looking for as a game. Cyberpunk's main quest line, while shorter than I expected, introduced you to the dark future and guided you down a winding path of choices as you technically raced against time to save your life. Every main quest mission had me wanting more and wanting to see what would happen next. It made me feel like I was the star of a hot HBO series. Many of the side quests as well were unforgettable, but the side jobs and quests was where I began to see the cracks in this game. And while I say 80% of the side jobs were great, and I highly recommend playing some, felt either unfinished or just too short to make an impact on me as a player. One love interest quest line in the game in particular seemed incredibly short and easy as compared to the others. However, I was surprised by how much dialogue you could have after finishing an NPC's quest line, and how much they interacted with you outside of their own stories. Regular NPCs, however, in the world were nowhere near as lifelike as advertised. One of the game's major flaws is its AI. NPCs reacting to V are all over the place and simply seemed unfinished. There is no real driving AI either. They're simply cars on rails as compared to most open world games. And if you interrupt their paths, well, the game just doesn't know what to do, and suddenly you've stopped traffic as far as the eye can see. For me, combat was really fun, and I enjoyed, the different instruments of death at my disposal. And even by the end of the game, I felt like I hadn't really scratched the surface of how destructive I could become. Crafting and upgrading weapons, on the other hand, though, definitely needs an overhaul. It simply just did not feel intuitive, and a lot of it, I had to figure out on my own. The game barely walked me through how to do anything along the lines of upgrades and crafting, but both can make a huge difference between being, this overpowered V or a very weak V. The world as a whole, though, shows so much potential, and I feel like the game, if it had been delayed for another year, could have allowed the devs to flesh this world out to the one they have envisioned. But alas, it released, and now it feels like I've completed a beta version of what was intended. There's so many places where it just feels like I should be able to sit down and eat at the restaurant or walk into, and it's just a lot of locked doors. But I mean, I am used to that in an open world game. You're not allowed to always walk into different places, but it just feels like the amount of places you can go to are very small in comparison to most games. I believe this game is ripe with potential to have the replayability and fanbase of a game kind of like Skyrim, but it's going to take hard work from CD Projekt Red to make this game playable on consoles and then fix the problems we all know is there, along with winning back, some of their fanfare that they had from fans. If the player base doesn't completely abandon the game before then, and we get a more polished world, I could see myself playing this game for years on end, with the possibility of mods taking this world to endless heights. But as of right now, we're not there. And as far as what I played, it was adequate in entertaining me, and it keeps my interest, but I still can't ignore the issues that are clearly there. With all that said, my final grade is going to be a B-. It's a game with tons of potential for being great, but it's gonna take time before we can play that really great version of it. I would also love to know your guys' thoughts on the game and how you guys have had experiences, or what kind of experiences you've had with it so far, because I mean, it is different for everyone who plays. different people take different paths, different choices. You know, I did Nomad and everything like that. And I do plan on doing this again. I do plan on playing the game again and doing a couple more. Like, I want to do 2 more runs of it. You know, one as a street kid and one as a corpo. But I have heard from other people that have played those other storylines that, you know, it isn't much different in general. Like, it's, you know, it's just the intro and then everything else is pretty much the same, which is disappointing to hear as well. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this game, if you agree with my grade, if you have a different grade, what you would give it. I'd definitely love to hear that. Some new things coming to the channel in general. I'm going to start doing Scott Pilgrim this weekend. You know, it was a game that I played a long time ago, and I thought, you know, since it was getting re-released, I think it's the 10th anniversary, and finally showing up on PC, I would give it that a try. It's a game I haven't played in so fucking long since I was on Xbox, so I'm definitely interested in playing that. And it's a world that and storyline that I really enjoy. And I'm going to be bringing in retro games. Retro games are finally showing up on the channel. I'm going to be playing some PS2 games and some GameCube games going in the future. And I think one of the first ones I'm going to do is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith licensed game. I definitely want to play that again. I love the ending for that game, so I definitely want to get there again and see what it's like now that I've been so far removed from it. Alright, and there's going to be tons of new games like that. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting year. Definitely check us out on Twitch. I am live every single weekend. And then we have YouTube videos that are cut down versions of my Twitch streams that play every Monday through Friday. I think I might be switching it to Monday through Thursday soon, but we'll see. All right, let's move on. Hey, this is Christian.
Hey, this is Damon.
And this is the Amazing Nerd Show.
New episodes and live streams weekly.